Mercedes screw Hamilton
Yes.
for the win.
Yes.
As simple as that. That's it.
Welcome back to another episode of F1 Talk with myself, Sherif, and my compatriot Joe over there.
Joe.
And
Nice to see you guys.
yeah. So we're curious. What were your guys' thoughts about the Dutch Grand Prix, man? Because Joe and I have our opinions. We're gonna get into those, but before we start talking about our opinions, please leave a comment below. I'm really curious what your takeaway was from this race. It was very interesting, and let's get into it without taking too long. Joe, what were your thoughts about the race?
Mercedes screw Hamilton
Yes.
for the win.
Yes.
As simple as that. That's it.
Okay. So Verstappen had a great drive, wonderful pace. You know, all credit to the kid. He did a good job, right? Ferrari, of course, bungled it as usual.
Yep.
5
Usual
races
Ferrari.
in a row now without a win from them. Plus the BS pit stop that they had with Sainz. 12.7 seconds, man. 12.7 seconds at a pit stop. At this level, you know? Like,
Where's the tires? Where's the tires?
but really, like, I'm 100% with you. And if you read the title of this video, you know exactly where Joe is coming from. Mercedes totally... Are we past the 30-second mark? Yes, we are.
I think we do.
Totally fucking screwed Hamilton this race. Oh, my God.
I mean, like, I'm not expecting him to win the race against Red Bull's straight line speed, but at least he can get on podium.
Right.
But then Mercedes just kind of just not letting him get a soft tire, not even getting him to pit stop and get another tire change, just leaving on the track, which is, you guys, you feel the vibe, right? Last year, it's almost the same situations. Mercedes haven't learned their mistake from the failures. Again.
Dude. No, it was really one of the most annoying ends to a race that I have ever seen. And, you know, reading the justifications from Toto Wolff after the race, you know, he was telling Hamilton on the team radio, "Oh, let's talk about it," and saying that, "Oh, we went for the win, and we were trying to get into, you know, win the Grand Prix, and this and that. We took some risks, and it didn't pan out." Like, okay, Joe and I kind of briefly talked about this earlier, but like, what is the freaking point of getting the win at this particular race, right? Like, are you trying to stick it to Verstappen personally? And if you are, why? Like, what's the value of that in an entire season of you dragging your ass through, like, terrible design elements of the car that you had to constantly make Hamilton basically do R&D work through the first half of the season to resolve, right? What's winning this race mean? Like, it puts you no closer in, like, the Constructors' Championship in the grand scheme of things to any position close to Red Bull. Doesn't put either of your drivers anywhere close to being in the championship contention, right? Maybe you can displace Ferrari a little bit, but so what? You know, there's no point in trying to go for the win in this particular race, right? And I did the math. Right? Right now, Russell is at like 188 points, right? And Hamilton is at 164, right? If they had, presumably Hamilton had gotten second, Russell had gotten third, Russell would have been at 180 points. Hamilton would have been at 164, know? And so there wouldn't have been a dramatic move there. They would have at least had two people on the fucking podium, in second and third instead of second and fourth, right?
Right.
Like, it just, and they would have had more constructors' points, Like, it was a bad strategy. It was a bad call. Just
at this
dumb.
point, they should maximize what they have and just go for the constructors, not the title, but constructors' point, so that they can get the resources for next year. But then I got it. They won the win because it's so close to them. But again, you have to think of the long-term game, which is I don't see them doing it at this race. Yes,
dude,
we are so exhausted when we watch the race, and that's why you hear my voice like this right now.
God, it's so dumb, and it's so lacking vision, right? Like, again, what is okay? Even let's say if you could make the argument that it was maybe for team morale, we gotta win this season. After all the trials and tribulations of us working with a compromised platform, we got the win, good job team, this and that. What's the point again? Having the long-term view of exactly what you said, of having the points in the Constructors Series is more valuable in the grand scheme of things, right? So that nixes that argument. Two, under what strategy did they think that they could even remotely match Red Bull's pace this season? You saw how easily Verstappen passed Hamilton in the straights? It was literally like Hamilton was standing still.
But again, the pace is not bad for Mercedes this week. The pace of the car is not bad. So
I agree.
It's just the tire strategy is just it's BS. And if you see an early race, maybe lap 34 or something like that, Hamilton actually overtook Perez,
right,
on the straight with, I believe, it's medium or hard tires against the medium tires of Sergio Perez. So I will argue Mercedes' pace is not bad. It's just the way they handle this type of situation again and again. It's just failing.
Dude, but even still, I don't think Perez's setup, honestly, is different. The same. Yeah, it's definitely different than Verstappen's.
It's different. Their setup, their part is different.
Yeah,
they said it in the press. They have something. Yeah, I mean not the press, but the like a news or something.
I must have missed that. Yeah.
Yeah, but their engine is still the same engine. Yeah. I mean, just a little bit set up differently. So.
But dude, I mean, Verstappen's pace is like Red Bull last year, or is like Mercedes last year. Yeah. So again, if you know that, why did you think you were going to have the opportunity for the win? We all know, and even Mercedes better than us know, that their cars are just not up to it. The delta is too freaking big, man.
Right.
Look, I mean, dude, if you want no other proof than that, look how many points Verstappen has this season in the Drivers' Championship.
It's 500.
He's at 300. Already. No,
300. 300. 500 is a Constructors' Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has 300 points. The next closest person, Leclerc, has 200.
Yeah. Even Leclerc has 200. and it's like 100 points difference.
Yeah. Like Russell is
nuts.
closer to Leclerc than Leclerc is to Verstappen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so again, what was the value of going for the win? I don't get it. And I feel on some level that Wolf, Toto has just some explaining to do, because that strategy was bullshit. And truthfully, like, Hamilton deserves better. For how much crap he's put up with this season, how much work he's put into trying to refine that Mercedes concept, to hang him out to dry to get fourth was shit. I'm going to call it. It like was fucking shit.
He should be the one who pitted for South, not George Russell.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah, and I'm using my smiley face coffee mug, but it should be a frown when I'm talking about this topic. Like, Christ,
we are mad. We like when I was watching the race, I'm like, what in the world just happened?
Yeah. No, it didn't make sense, like, at all. There was plenty of opportunity to swap him in for the softs. Why hang him out to dry on the mediums?
Exactly. If you want to take risk, that's the way to taking risk. Just having both of Red Bull and both of Mercedes on soft and just go for it. Instead of having him like a sitting duck on the track. That's not how you say it. That's not how you take a risk.
Dude, you hit it on the head. That's what he looked like. He looked like a sitting duck for the attack dog of the Red Bull. And honestly.
Like, dude, Mercedes, they can easily pull off the double pit, back to back double pit, because they did one pit stop before, which is Hamilton comes in, followed by George Russell, and then they nailed it. I have to say, they nailed the pit stop. But on this one, it feels like everything just falls apart all of a sudden.
Yeah. I there is no world in my mind at all where it was a good call whatsoever. And they could have gotten a double podium, man. Like, if you want an accomplishment, having both your guys on the podium and completely trouncing Ferrari,
that would be nice.
Even like, making sure Perez doesn't get on the podium, that would have been a massive accomplishment.
And then your constructors championship point is going to be over. It's going to overtake Ferrari. Isn't that what you wanted? Right?
Come on. It doesn't.
Use your head, Mercedes. Use your head.
Man, if you guys who are watching this right now see any other logic to this that is missing Joe and I, please explain it to us down in the comments.
Leave a comment down below. I'm like interested and curious to see what you guys are saying. Will say
100%, because really, like, this one escapes me. It escapes me in every regard, and I was literally left just like mouth open.
Yeah, me too.
What the hell?
Yeah, like, what just happened?
Yeah,
and it feels like Abu Dhabi all over again. Only this time, Mercedes fucked themselves up. Not Michael Masi, not the race director. Mercedes fucked themselves up.
They did it to themselves completely. Yep. Completely. So I don't know, guys. This was a major fail from Mercedes strategy, which we usually don't see, like, big strategy fails.
They usually have their stuff like spot on.
Yeah.
And this one is just the worst in the most recent years, I have to say.
Dude, this felt like all of a sudden the Mercedes strategists were replaced by Ferrari strategists for this one call.
Like they switched the job, they switched the team in 1 week.
Yeah, right. Like seriously. I mean, but Ferrari still kept the clowns of their strategy.
Yeah, Ferrari is the champion. It's a champion of failure of pit stop in strategy.
Dude, they're the Latifis of strategy right now.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to put it. Latifi of strategy.
Like holy crap, man!
Fuck.
I mean,
oh man.
There was definitely a lot to talk about some of the midfield battles, and again the continuing failure of like Daniel Ricciardo and all of that stuff.
Let's stop talking about him. It's boring.
Yeah, exactly. But there's nothing more. That's kind of what I was gonna get to. Was just like there's nothing more surprising or eye-opening than this exceedingly bad call from Mercedes. You know, like,
dude. So, like, I don't know, man. I don't know how Mercedes is gonna even win a race, like even put their guys on the podium. Like,
dude, there's no way they're getting first. Honestly, like unless Verstappen crashes out, has a hardware like failure in the vehicle somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And if Ferrari keeps on like screwing up their strategies royally, then and only then do they have any hopes of getting a first like place on the podium. Like, I'm gonna call it. They just their setup is not complete. It's not there yet. Their pace is not there. They just cannot keep up with Verstappen's specific Red Bull. And if they make Perez's Red Bull the same spec,
they are screwed.
Yeah, then they're even more screwed, right?
They're screwed. So they better off just start developing a new car for next year, right now, at this point in time.
And just give up this stupid idea of winning a single race. Like, why? Like, what is the value?
Just bring the side pod back.
Dude, I don't get it. I want to like sit here and kind of like strangle Toto, man. Like, what was the value of the one race? You're not gonna psychologically affect Verstappen. The guy is like Iceman. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't, give a shit. Yeah. He just wants to win, and he's gonna focus on winning. Okay, maybe you destabilize him a little bit. Big whoop. So what? You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to affect Horner right now. Horner's ego and their success this season has totally been, like, booing him. So, if he loses one, he's going to be like, okay, well, one, but look, we got a guy who's, at 300 points, and we've got, our Constructors' Championship at 500. Like,
right.
Who cares about one race? Like, again, the logic isn't there. Go for the bigger long-term, just like Joe said, the bigger long-term goals. And they lost sight of them completely. I
mean, like, they usually are the master of long-term plan, but I just don't know how or why and where that idea come from of not having that mentality in this race or in this particular race or this year. So
all right, guys, I think we're going to cut it off there, but let us know. I mean, if you have some insights, if you understand even an ounce of where this strategy came from and why they tried to employ it, please leave it down in the comments below. I think it would have been much better to get both of our guys, onto the podium. Nice 2-3 finish, Red Bull in first, and just move forward with the season. But no, they decided to go for it, and they lost doubly,
Hamilton.
In my opinion.
They just screw Hamilton's win. Not Hamilton's win, but Hamilton's potential on the podium.
Yeah, and honestly, it's just been a season of giving it to him dry with no lube, from
Yeah.
from the start of the season. So like really you couldn't help the guy out, bolster his ego, get him on the podium, like something, really? Like I don't see it. I don't get it,
Me too.
Like
Me don't get it at all.
yeah. Yeah. So let us know. I mean, if you guys see something that we're not seeing, we
Just
are
let us know.
both
Yeah.
open. Yeah, like illuminate us, please. But otherwise, let us know if you agree. If really Mercedes screwed the pooch and screwed Hamilton in the process. If you guys agree with us, also leave
Just
it down
leave
in the
it.
comments below.
Leave everything down below. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Don't
curious.
forget
We're
to.
curious.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See ya. Bye bye.
Peace.